What up, guys? Today we're going to talk about my morning routine. This is like a bunch of papers that I read every day. I've collected all this stuff over like 10 years and like distilled it and like went through it all the time and deleted stuff that I didn't like and added stuff that I liked. And like over time, I've developed this like optimal list of stuff to read to like put me in the right mind state. So I'm just going to go through it. So at the top right here, it just says, the way you start your morning is the way you spend your day. If you start your day in reaction, you will live in reaction. So take time for yourself because it'll actually make you more productive. So like in the morning, a lot of times I'll just be like, duh, I got to get stuff done. Let me open up the email. Let me open up my calendar. What's the urgent stuff? And then I go, hold up. Let me read this. So taking time for yourself, it'll actually make you more productive. So it's worth it to just take 10 minutes to read this stuff in the morning. So there's three bullet points right here, and they're what you do is based on how you feel. And how you feel is based on what you focus on. And what you focus on is based on the questions you ask yourself. So the quality of your life actually comes down to the questions that you ask yourself on a daily basis. So the way it works is the questions you ask yourself leads to what you focus on, leads to how you feel, and that affects what you do. So you start with the questions and then you end up changing what you actually do. So the questions you ask yourself affect what you focus on, and what you focus on affects how you feel, and how you feel affects what you do. So that's kind of the list. So for example, if you're stuck in like an emotional pattern, like anxiety or procrastination, it's because of the questions you're asking yourself. So instead of starting the day with like, what could go wrong today? Maybe you're not like asking these questions consciously, but maybe in the back of your head, you're feeling anxiety or procrastination and you're numbing it by like scrolling on Twitter or whatever. Instead of what could go wrong today, or why are things like this, or why am I stressed about this? Ask yourself questions like, what could I feel great about in my life right now? And if that doesn't feel right, if you're like, nothing, then okay, what could I feel great about in my life right now if I wanted to? Like just pretend if you really wanted to, what's something you could feel great about in your life right now? So you think about that, and then you go, okay, am I working on stuff that's going to make a huge difference in the quality of my life forever? Hopefully. Am I in a Nazi concentration camp right now? I mean, there's some contrast for you, right? Do I get to work because I have to or because I choose to? Am I creating a future for myself? Am I getting to use my brain? Am I in a free country? Am I alive? Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll be like, okay, I'm alive. I'm safe. And then I think back to like some global conflicts like World War II, and I'm like, I'm not stuck in the trenches right now, like with bullets flying over my head with my friends dying, wishing that I was like in a safe, comfortable space on my couch. So I'm like, I'm alive, I'm safe. And right then, sometimes I start tearing up. I'm like, oh my God, so many of my ancestors actually had to go through hell. And I'm just like sitting here on a couch being like, blah, my business, I'm anxious. Like, it's so dumb. So am I in a free country? Am I alive? Am I safe? Do I have friends? Do I have people that care about me? Yes. Okay, so now we're like training your brain on that. There are millions of things that I can feel good about right now. I just have to change my focus. You know that meme where it's like the two guys on the bus, one of them staring at the wall and he's like, well, he's all sad. And the other guy's like looking at the beautiful scenery and he's like, well, I'm happy. There's one quote I read a long time ago where it's like, life is like a big party, right? If you go to a big party, there's somebody crying in the corner. There's some people fighting in the bathroom, but then there's people in the kitchen having a good time reminiscing on when they were kids. There's people outside, doing recreational drugs, having fun. Like, life is a party where wherever you go in the party, you get to experience. Like if you were just hanging out with the people in the kitchen or even outside, you probably had a great time. You're like, that was an awesome party. If you're hanging out with the people in the bathroom fighting or in the closet crying, you're probably like, man, that party sucked, So it's like, it depends on like what you focus on. Life is one big party. So like focus on the right stuff. And here's the key. If you don't do that, this is me talking to myself. So if I don't do that, I'll end up like the ultimate failures, which are people that have everything and still focus on what's wrong. That might be the ultimate failure, actually, is like you have everything in the world. You have the bountiful fruits of your labor. You have all of the advantages of the world, whether you earned them or not, and you're still focusing on what's wrong. That's insane. And so that's the ultimate failure, right? And I go, at the end of this page, I go, the choice is mine. I get to decide. So that kind of preps me for what's going on the next page, where it says, direct my brain on what to focus on. So I'm conditioning and I'm training myself, training my brain to focus on the right stuff, because that in the end, remember, it'll affect the outcomes later. So the first question is like, what am I most happy about in my life right now? And then the sub question is like, or what could I be happy about if I wanted to be? So usually for me, that's like, okay, I'm alive, I'm safe, I'm in good health. The people I love are, let's just take it one at a time. I'm alive right now. Already that's like, there's an old quote that's like, there was this one dude in a seminar and they were asking like, what do you need to be happy? And one guy was like, I need to make $100,000 a year and have a nice car and have a nice family and a wife that loves me and kids and blah, 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 like all this stuff. And some other guy at the front stood up and he was like, yep. Every morning I just like stand up, get out of bed. I look down and I realize I'm not 6 feet underground. And I'm like, yep, it's a good day. Any day that you're not 6 feet underground is a good day. Or I think he said like any day above ground is a good day, which is like, wow, talk about like contrast. Like that's so much easier to live your life if you're just like, yep, I'm alive. That's enough to be grateful for. You know, a lot of people aren't, wish they were. So what am I most happy about in my life right now? And the kind of things that I go through when I identify something like that, like let's just say I'm alive right now. What about that makes me happy? Specifically, what about being alive right now makes me happy? And I'm like, well, a lot of people wish they were and they aren't. A lot of people would give everything. You know that meme where it's like, if you're in good health, you have 1,000 different problems in your life. And then when you get into bad health, you only have one problem. So it's like just that right there is already enough of a, like you don't move the goalposts anymore. Like you've already won. You've already passed the finish line. You're in good health. All these other problems are just like tertiary problems that don't actually matter, because they wouldn't matter if you were in bad health right now. You wouldn't care about any of these like stupid, like random problems about your life situation if your life was ending, if you were in bad health. So, I mean, all of our lives are ending, you know, you could argue that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's a ways out. Hopefully it's not today. Let's just put it that way. Like, what's that Louis C.K. bit where he's like, what are real problems? Oh, we're waking up today and they're cutting off all our heads today. Like, that's like a real problem. These first world problems are like, they're still real, but like, let's put them in perspective, you know? So again, what am I most happy about in my life right now? What about that makes me happy? And then the other question is like, how does that make me feel? So the main question is like, what am I most happy about? Or what could I be happy about if I wanted to be? And the sub questions are like, what about that makes me happy? And how does that make me feel? And really try to like let it sink in and like let yourself feel that, where you're like, damn, how does that make me feel to be alive right now and to not have to worry about my health? Pretty damn awesome. Like, yeah, that's like, it like fills me with gratitude. I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to deal with some like crazy health issue, you know? So, and then you just keep repeating that. What else am I really happy about in my life right now? You can do it as many times as you want. I usually do it with like 2 or 3 things. And then you go through the sub questions. What about that makes you feel happy? And how does that make you feel? And really like, don't just be like, it makes me feel good. Next, just be like, how does that actually make you feel realizing that? And you're just like, good. Okay. Next question. Next big question. What am I most excited about in my life right now? Or what could I be excited about if I wanted to be? All right. So what am I excited about right now? I don't know. See, that's what I always say in my mind. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Well, what could you be excited about if you wanted to be? I don't know. Hopefully it's going to be a good year. I'll probably travel a lot this year. I'll probably go to Korea, South Korea. That'll be fun. What about that makes me feel excited? Traveling to new places is awesome. Meeting people is awesome. It's going to be a fun time. And how does that make me feel? Pretty good, because I'm not stuck in some like 9-to-5 job where I hate my life. So that's pretty awesome. And what else am I really excited about in my life right now? And you just repeat the process. Next big question. What am I most grateful for in my life right now? I actually like already mentioned that above, but like some other things would be like, or you, if you don't like the word grateful, what can I appreciate the most in my life right now? And how does that make me feel? Dude, probably just like the fact that the people I love in my life are in good health for now and they're alive. And that's awesome, because one day maybe they won't be. And so any day that I have that, like I just want to like FaceTime my mom right now, like talk to her, you know? I'll probably do that after this video, but yeah. And you just go through that. A couple other big questions. What am I most proud about in my life right now? And what about that makes me feel proud? So for me, I guess it's the fact that I'm working super hard on my businesses and stuff. And how does that make me feel? I guess motivated to keep going, you know? It's like, dude, I'm working hard. Let's keep chugging along. And who do I really love most in my life right now? And who loves me? And this is my time to just like, how does that make me feel? I just like think about that for like a minute. You don't have to use all these every day. I don't. Sometimes I just focus on one of them. Like maybe I'll just do the first one. Like, what am I most happy about? And I think about all the horrible things that could be happening that aren't. And I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm ready to go. So it's not this isn't meant to be like a checklist where you have to do every one. These are just ideas. So like you can write down which ones you really like and maybe use those, and the other ones you don't have to use. So this is some stuff I learned in therapy, actually. Setting an intention for your workday. So not what you want to accomplish, but like how you want to accomplish it. So it's not like I need to grind through the day and make sure I do all this stuff no matter what. It's like, how can I make this enjoyable? How can I do the shit I got to do and actually enjoy it? That would be like the perfect outcome, right? Because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So like, how do I get the stuff I want to do today done and also have a good time doing it? I don't know, maybe blast some music, or like make sure I have little rewards set up where I'm like, let me go through this for 20 minutes and then I can scroll Instagram for a while, you know? So it's not about the process, but it's about how you experience the process. That's really like the magic there, where if you can experience the process and enjoy doing it, then it's like, you're good. Like you don't have to sacrifice all these hours to attain a goal in the future that you may not even enjoy. You're enjoying it now. And so you can even set an intention for like the first part of your day. You're like, today I'm going to enjoy, like, how do you want to experience this part while you're working? Does it have to really be a grind? Ask yourself this. Does this really have to be a grind? Do I really have, because sometimes like I'm really, really not looking forward to working and I'm like, oh, I don't want to open the email. I don't want to open the Slack. I know there's going to be problems there, but it's like, maybe if I set an intention of like, what if I just like was able to do this and actually enjoy it? Like, what would that look like? And sometimes when there's really big problems, it's hard for me to do that. But other times when it's just like a bunch of stuff I got to do, I'm like, you know what? Let me just like do this and actually enjoy it. Like, let me just like hustle through this and then I'll go like, you know, whatever, vape on the porch or eat some food or whatever reward I have set up for myself. Another question is like, who do I want to be today? Or let me ask you, who do you want to be today? What kind of person do you want to be today? Do you want to be the kind of person that's just like, bleh? Like I've done this before, by the way. I'm not perfect. Like I'll sit on the couch and I'll just like do nothing and I'll just like look at the computer that's right here and I'll dread sitting down because I'm like, I don't want to do it. So many problems, so many issues. I just want to like lay on the couch and be a blob. And it's fine. You know, it's like, whatever, dude. But it's like, who do you want to be today? What kind of person? A productive person, somebody that like gets their goals done, or somebody that's just like, whatever, I'll just let time slip by and ooze by without like working on the stuff that I know I need to do, you know? Actually, there's a good meme about this where it's like, if you have a bunch of anxiety, but then you're like stacking action on top of it. So it's like you stack one action, the anxiety decreases. You stack another action, 2 of them, the anxiety decreases. You stack 3 actions, the anxiety decreases. So in that way, it's like doing little actions, even if you don't complete the project, but at least you start it and you make a little bit of progress, it reduces anxiety tremendously. Jeff Bezos had a good quote where he's like, dude, if you're stressed out, I was listening to an interview with him, so I'm totally paraphrasing this. I'm sure he wasn't like, dude, but like, he was like, dude, if you're stressed about something, that's your brain telling you that you need to do something. And he's like, a lot of times just getting started on the project and just doing like 2 minutes of work on this one thing you're stressed about can relieve a ton of that stress. So like, he's like, just get started, just do like two minutes of work on this thing and you'll feel hella better. Oh yeah. So who do I want to be today? What kind of person do I want to be? I don't know, somebody that gets their shit done. And how would I feel if I was that person? Well, like I said, you'd be way less anxious because you'd be like, I'm the type of dude that wakes up and gets shit done. That's fucking awesome. Another question, why are you trying to make a lot of money? What are the feelings that you will feel if you have the money? Like there's a good quote by Tim Ferriss where he's like, how would you feel right now if you had insert whatever number, like $100 million liquid in the bank? And like, imagine it and really, really imagine it, like logging into your online banking on your phone and being like, holy shit, like how would that feel? And what are the feelings that you would feel in that moment? You'd probably feel light. You'd feel a burden off your shoulders. You'd be like, damn, I don't have to do shit now. You'd feel this like overwhelming sensation of like relief, right? And then realize that like you can just like feel that now. Like I know it's kind of weird because you're tricking yourself into feeling that way, but like also, why do you have to wait for this like random magical number to appear for you to feel relief? Like you're alive right now. The moments are counting down. Don't you want to like experience that feeling now? Because you can totally do that to yourself. You can be like, I can just allow myself to feel relief right now. And go back to those questions where you're like, I'm alive, I'm safe, I'm not in a Nazi concentration camp. Allow yourself to feel some damn relief, man. Like, why not? It's not going to make you less productive. Ironically, it'll actually probably make you more productive, which is what you want in the first place, right? And while you're working, tell yourself like, dude, I'm one step closer to this. Like today I put in my work. Even if it's 2 minutes of work on that project, you'll feel less anxious and you can tell yourself like, dude, one step closer, one step closer. That's all there is. It's just you being like one step closer, and then you accomplish the goal. And then ironically, what happens? You move the goalpost. You're like, okay, I did the goal. Time to make more money. Like, so you might as well make yourself feel good while you're doing the task, you know? So give yourself that permission to like feel relief and be like, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm alive. Feel relief. And now you can work because you're not so stressed about it. And stop the I'll be happy when trap. Have you ever heard of people doing this where they're like, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I graduate college and get a dope job. I'll be happy when I get a promotion in my job. I'll be happy when I finally get that girlfriend that loves me and is like, you know, like supporting me and stuff. And I have this awesome relationship. I'll be happy when I have $1 million liquid in the bank. I'll be happy when I have $10 million liquid in the bank. I'll be happy when I have 100 million. Like it's an endless cycle. By the way, this keeps going your entire life. It's like, I'll be happy when I finally have kids and a loving family. And then later, I'll be happy when I have grandkids. Like it literally never stops. Even you probably know, like your parents do this too. They're like, when are the grandkids coming? Like it just never stops until you die. I'll be happy when my retirement home finally gets the new food that I like, or we go on that trip. Like you just keep moving the goalpost for like, I'll be happy when. And the problem with that is that when you do that, you condition and train your brain to never be happy. You're always like looking to the next thing. I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy when this happens. It's like, when will you actually ever be happy? Never. Because you think that what's going to happen is once you achieve this goal or you pass the finish line, you'll allow yourself to feel happy. But the problem is that we generally tend to go back to homeostasis of the emotions that we're used to feeling. So like you're just going to keep feeling those same emotions that you've conditioned and trained yourself to feel, even when you achieve the ultimate goalpost. So like really internalize that. No matter what you think you need right now to be happy, when you get it, I promise you it's not going to make you feel those emotions. I guarantee it. You know why? Because you're already training yourself not to feel happy when that moment comes by telling yourself, I'll be happy when. So again, that goes back to like, dude, allow yourself to feel the relief right now. Imagine you have 100 mil in the bank or whatever the thing is that you're chasing and just be like, okay, I have it. Can I finally be happy? Can I just finally, for 5 seconds in my life, just feel that relief of like, I did it. I did it. Yes. Like, allow yourself to feel that, dude, because like that will condition and train you so that when you actually do achieve that goal, you'll be like, oh, snap. Now I actually feel that. I can actually relax and fully let it land. It's called letting it land, where you're like, oh my God, this happened. Like one thing I like to do when I achieve some goal like this that I remember earlier when I realized I've achieved a goal, like when I used to be young, I used to be like, one day I'm going to travel the world and I'm going to like have my own place and like be able to DJ at clubs and stuff. And like, it's going to be awesome. And like, when I actually do that stuff, it's just this like momentary thing that happens. And then later I don't even appreciate it. I'm just like, well, yeah, I just like, I instantly take it for granted. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking it for granted? This was the thing that you only once dream. Okay. There's a good quote here. I'm on a roll now. There's this one quote where it's like, I think it's like by Marcus Aurelius in Meditations, but I could be totally it could be Seneca, it could be one of those motherfuckers from long ago. Basically, he was like, dude, realize that many of the things you have now are things that once were only dreams. This is totally like, I'm butchering this quote. Basically, that's what he's saying in a nutshell. He's saying that like, realize that a lot of the stuff you have now is stuff that before it was only in your dreams that you could ever have this. And then realize that the stuff you're dreaming about now, maybe one day you'll have, but like you're not even appreciating the stuff that you have now, that before you're like, if only I could have this thing, if only my life could be this way, then things would be awesome and I'll be happy forever. No, you won't, because guess what? Now you have that stuff, you have the stuff, and you're like not even appreciating it. So like teaching yourself how to let it land and how to be like, holy shit, my life is fucking amazing. Like that's a really good skill, because as you keep ascending and as you keep hitting these goals and achieving the stuff that you only once dreamed of, you'll actually be able to enjoy it. Otherwise, remember, it's the ultimate failure. Having everything and still focusing on what's wrong. Or in this case, focusing on what else, just moving the goalpost. Okay, I got it. What's next? It's like, come on, dude. Okay, look, people are happiest when they're making progress, but that doesn't mean you have to suffer through the progress. That's also like the ultimate failure. Like, what? Like, I'll be happy when I'm at the club DJ. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's pretty fun. But like, let it land that you've achieved this stuff, and it's like, it's something that you once only dreamed of, and now you actually are having it. So stop the I'll be happy when trap. Do it now. All right. Maybe I'll actually separate this into a couple of videos. Maybe I'll make a part 2, because this is like gone on pretty long. I only went through 2 pages and I have like 10 more pages. So that was the big stuff though. I usually don't go through this whole thing. I usually just go through like maybe the first 2 pages. So that was like the main thing. And hopefully if you do this, you'll be in a state where you're like, oh snap, you're like ready to work, and you'll enjoy it and you'll get the stuff done. And yeah, it'll be dope. So I believe in you. Sometimes you only need one person to believe in you. I believe in you. Get it done.